Hello everybody, here's Tim again, this time with a kind of a review that maybe you didn't see coming. I'm doing a review for the movie Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, which I believe is the full name. But yeah, this is directed by Luc Besson, who also did The Fifth Element and La Femme Nikita and a couple other films like Leon and the Professional or whatever. But yeah, this is considered one of his weaker efforts. It has like a passable IMDb rating, I think, and that's probably like Luc Besson fans rating it like that. And that's understandable. If you're a big fan of somebody, you're always going to be more lenient on what they're doing. I mean, it's just the way it is. But as far as my rating for this goes, from 1 to 4, in terms of Luc Besson, I really do enjoy his work. Most of it, like his early stuff I do. Like, I really like Fifth Element, and I've got a review for it on here already. I did really enjoy that one. And La Femme Nikita and Leon and the Professional, those are all solid movies. The one Lucy did with Scarlett Johansson, I thought was just kind of It was just kind of passable to me. I like the quirky sensibility like he brings to science fiction and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. As far as this movie goes, I'll just go ahead and say it. I'd give it a half a star out of 4. This one sucked, in my opinion. I know this is based off a comic. I think it's like a French comic, and I believe it's comic. I know it's based off like some type of source material. And maybe if I did know the source material, I would be more lenient on this. So right off the bat, I have to say I'm only taking this as a movie, so maybe it does work better when in comparison with the source material. Pretty much it takes place in the future, and you kind of got this kind of neat opening sequence where you got all these different aliens showing up, like David Bowie's song playing in the background, where they're all like, all these different alien species are like shaking hands with this like Federation type thing or whatever. Kind of almost reminded me, the look of this film was like almost like the Star Wars prequels, really, in a way, except more subdued and not as overly CGI digital as those. But at the same time, this movie is still very digital, which I did kind of miss that practical, like, more grounded feel of the Fifth Element ones and stuff without so over the top and colorful. But at the same time, I'm not a big CGI fan in terms of like world building and stuff. Like I'm much more of like a practical fan in terms of effects. But I was willing to let it go. It's what the director's going for, and I can accept it. If I'm going to judge the film fair, I kind of have to go with it. And for what it is, I thought the CGI was well done in this movie. I thought the film had a cool like color, like scheme to it, look to it. And that's exactly the problem with this film. It's much more style over substance. Like Fifth Element was kind of as well, but at the same time, there were such cool characters in that, and such fun characters, and colorful, fun characters, that they just kind of carried you through the movie with the craziness that was going on. Here, the main cast is Dane DeHaan, who was in the movie Chronicle and Amazing Spider-Man 2 as Harry Osborn, and you got Cara Delevingne, who was in Suicide Squad. They are both miscast. The problem here is that they never really give you like a beat on the age of these characters until like sorry about that. But until like the main end of the movie. But before that, they got like Cara Delevingne. Like when you first see her, she's like walking around this kind of like skimpy outfit, and you're like, "Damn, girl, you look good." But then they're like, "Oh, wait a minute." The way the actors are playing, it's like, is she supposed to be like 15? You know, because that is weird the way they're playing. And I know it's a French film, or at least by a French director, so they have different sensibilities about like sexuality and stuff like that, and that's fine. But at the same time, though, me watching it felt a little weird. But when they started though, like actually acting, like Dane DeHaan, his character's supposed to be like this hunky male, like bad boy lead. He does not have that kind of charisma at all. Like it's nothing against this guy. I liked him in Chronicle. I didn't even mind him in Amazing Spider-Man 2, but he fit those roles, in my opinion. He does not have what it takes to be like a hunky male action hero lead who's supposed to be like the bad boy backsection there. But he just looks totally out of place. It's just, he has a weird look, like an outsider look. He looks like a more emo version of Edward Furlong from Terminator 2 with a little bit of like Evil Ed from Fright Night. Like, he does not look like some kind of badass type character. He looks like somebody who should be either a villain or an outsider kid. That's what he looks like. He doesn't have it to be like a main male lead like that. He just doesn't have the right look or charisma. So the whole time he was acting in this movie, he was bad. And it's not his fault. He just simply miscasted. I could tell easily that he was miscasted. Cara Delevingne, she has her moments, but at the same time, her character is like so underwritten that by the end, she's also bad. But she did have a few moments where I thought she was at least good, and some moments where I thought she was okay. But by the end, though, they're just not characters. There's just nothing to these characters. They're like very two-dimensionally flat. Like you get like this whole thing about them acting like we're in love and stuff, and they say that, but you don't really buy it. You don't really get the message or hear it in terms of the characters. You don't really feel it. So you just don't really feel it from the characters, from their performances. It just doesn't flow right. You don't buy it in terms of the way they play it. Because they just come off so young, and just their standard look is extremely young, so you just don't really get it. I'll say this about this film, like in terms of the way it's played and everything, there was maybe two characters in the whole film I liked, and there's not much of a plot in this. You don't even really get a plot until like the main end of the movie about this whole alien race thing or whatever that needs their help that was like betrayed by the Federation that they actually work for or whatever, and you get Clive Owen in this as a villain for like 2 minutes. But you got Ethan Hawke in this film as like some kind of flamboyant, like I guess gay or bisexual, like outer space character, and he was actually pretty funny. And then you got Rihanna in here, who's like an alien who can transform, and she's like doing this amazing striptease, man, where she is like sexy as hell, where she transforms in like different costumes and stuff. Best scene in the movie by far. And I'm just not saying that as a horny man. I mean, it's just the most clever usage of special effects in the entire film because she's a shape-shifting alien. And after that, she kind of teams up with Dane DeHaan's character. And it's just like running around with him for a while, helping him out, but then she just gets killed, and she's like the most interesting character in the movie, and it just feels like a waste. So by the end of this movie, it's just all style with like no through line in terms of story, and the story that we do get just isn't. It's almost like they just want to make a movie based off the fact that we're just exploring all these colorful worlds and stuff. This feels more like an episode of a TV series instead of an actual movie. This feels like something that would be better for a TV series, or something that was made hoping to deliberately kick off a TV series. So, in my opinion, I would give this a half a star. There's just nothing here except for the Rihanna scene, and she is super hot here. And so, I'll just go ahead and put that at the end of this video just so you can see that. But other than that, there's nothing here. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again.